Good morning, Bulldogs. Please stand for the morning ceremony. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hope you guys had a great weekend, even you Bills fans. I'm a Bills fan too, so it's a tough loss Sunday afternoon. Me and Ada are here on the Gammon Farm. Ada, you'll meet her if you haven't met her already. She was there during summer school a little bit this year. Her and I are a certified therapy team through Lollipop Farm, so she does come to school once in a while. And once we get school rolling, she'll probably be in on a lot of Fridays. So she's a really good girl. Her really only job is to be friendly and be petted, so she's really good at that. I just want to say it was an amazing night Friday night. That's not just because it was a rematch of the championship football game from last year, and the Bulldogs came out with a last-minute win. But just it was great having so many students back in the stands. The emotion, the energy, the Livonia experience we're used to. That was a really great night, a special night because it's been so long since we had something like that, and it was just such a cool thing to be part of. I want to share a little, see if I can share this with you here. I have a video clip that might pop up here that we can watch a little bit of the last game here, last play. Once again, great game, but even better student section and school spirit and atmosphere, and it was just really cool to get back to normalcy here in Bulldog Land. A couple things I want to go over as we've opened up here. There have been some little hiccups along the way. Number one, with the hallway pattern. I know it's a little bit annoying having to go one way down a hallway, but we had some really unsafe situations a couple times last week where students were coming down the social science hallway and coming up out of study hall or out of the cafeteria, and then coming down from study hall or from the English Slope hallway at the same time, or the science hallway. And we had traffic jams here that were really unsafe. And in order for us to stay open and stay safe, we need to make sure we're following this pattern. So if you have class in the social science wing, when you get out of class, you should be heading down towards the gym. If you're in the English or Low hallway and you get out of class, you should be heading down towards the science wing. And as you come up the main hallway, you need to go down this hall. And as you come down here, you need to make sure you're going down this hall. So we need to follow the one-way traffic patterns. Same thing in the math hallway. When you get out of class, you should be heading here. We funnel everything down the middle hallway, and then we either go around to the right or go around to the left, and then we can stay safe in the buildings. Please, please, please follow the traffic pattern. Asking teachers to help out with that when they dismiss you from class, that if you're in one of these hallways, you dismiss and go the direction of the arrow. That'll make sure we're not all converging kind of here at this busy intersection by the cafeteria line. So we're following the pattern, things should flow, and we should be safe in the building. So please follow the pattern in the hallway. Also, with the releases for between blocks, we need to make sure that we're listening to this. You should have seen the pattern by now that 6-8 students are released first. So if you're a high school student, just know that the first announcement is not for you. And high school teachers will be helping out with that. But if you're a 6-8 student, you're released first, most blocks, and you go directly to class, and you shouldn't take you more than 2 or 3 minutes to get to class. And a couple minutes later, the 9-12 students are released, and same thing, shouldn't take you more than 2 or 3 minutes to get to class. Once again, you go straight to class, then you ask to use the bathroom. There's a few students that are still going to the bathroom first, and a few others that are hanging out in the bathroom. Just know that in order to stay in the building in person, you need to follow the safety plans in place. If you're one of those students that continues to hang out in the bathroom instead of going straight to class, we hope that you fall in line at some point, because you can't be here in person if you're not. We did switch something around at the end of the day. Block 5, at the end of the day, we did switch this. We've been releasing 9-12 first students who are leaving the building to get you guys out and in your cars, and then we're releasing 6-8 from there to go to the buses. Another area of focus, we've done pretty well settling in with lunch and seminar. Just make sure you realize that you need to be in your assigned location. Juniors and seniors, you need to make sure you're spreading out. You guys have the auditorium area. You have basically, if I go back to the map, You have this entire third of the building. So you have the auditorium area, you have the courtyard, auditorium foyer, and you have the math hallway and the main hallway here. You can loop back around with the social science hallway, but this is your end of the building. You shouldn't be heading down the low or science hallway unless you've asked to see a teacher, or especially down into the 6-8 wing. But make sure during seminar that we're following the directions of the staff member. We are putting together an alternative seminar location and lunch location. And whether you're in 8th grade or 11th or 12th grade, if you're not following the rules or if you're not being cooperative during this time, then we're going to have another location for you to go during lunch and seminar. Once again, just follow the guidelines that are set in your room, follow the guidelines of where you're supposed to be during that period, and there shouldn't be any problems. But for those that, a handful that are struggling right now, we will have an alternative location for you to go to if you don't start following the directions that are in place. Once again, this week, we had great class meetings last week. I really enjoyed meeting with all the classes. This week, we're going to close with an opening ceremony at the end of the week. More to come on that, but then once again, there'll be some details. The owner has to stay safe and all be in the auditorium. Between those two ceremonies, we need to follow some procedures that'll come your way later in the week. But once again, just follow the direction of your first block class if you're in grades 6 through 9, or your second block class if you're grades 10 through 12. When we get to the opening ceremony on Friday. During the class meetings, I talked to a lot of you guys about achieving greatness. How do we achieve greatness? I put down 6 keys of the most successful people, what makes them successful, and what makes them great. The first one is being resourceful. No matter what you're up against, if you use every resource, everyone around you to try to make things work, usually end up on top. The second thing to achieve greatness is always finish what you start. Always complete what you set out to do no matter what happens, and never allow yourself to settle or quit on your goals. The third thing is to get up every time you get knocked down. Rejection, failure, setbacks are inevitable and must be weathered in order to achieve greatness. No matter what, you just continue to push forward. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Reaching greatness requires self-improvement. It requires continually getting better. And to get better, we must be willing and unafraid to ask questions or ask for help when we need it. And never be afraid to fail. Don't look at failure as a setback, but as a building block, a stepping stone to a better place. Be willing to take a challenge, push yourself outside your comfort zone, take chances and learn from your mistakes and fail forward. And understand that change is in your hands. You must believe that the world, your world, the reality you see around you can be changed. Don't blame others. That's common these days. Realize that your hands are on the wheel and steer it in the direction you want to go. Decide today to make a difference, not only in your life, but in the life of others, and you can be great. So like I shared last week in the class meeting, we all have a destiny for greatness. We've all been given and born with some unique and amazing ability that someone else doesn't have. And life may sometimes cause us to stop believing in ourselves or understand that we truly have that within us. But like William Shakespeare says there, you're not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. So stay strong, Bulldogs, and have a great week.